Protection. We both have countless hours of training. We're both NRA certified instructors, so we have a little bit of professional knowledge and experience to bring to the table here. So tonight, we want to talk about what's going on in the current political environment. We want to talk about why it's important for you to carry a gun. So a lot of you guys probably already carry guns, maybe you don't, but we're gonna go over some statistics with you, some stories, and let you know why it's important that you carry a gun. So past couple weeks we've been going over situational awareness. The first week it was situational awareness in general. How do we develop that, and why it's important. And the second week was pertaining specifically to women, women's issues, and we again gave some stories and some tips and things like that. So, so tonight, it's going to be then, what do you do with that situational awareness, and why it's important to carry a gun. So before we get into it, we just wanted to put out there that we reached out to FN. That's why we're both wearing matching hats and shirts, and just let them know what we were doing here. And they sent us a care package of all kinds of cool gear. Hats, shirts, pens, stickers, a big banner that we're gonna have up hopefully next week. But you know, it was just to reach out and to get a response like this, and for them to hook us up with all this cool gear, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. So, FN, or those guys are awesome. Like I said, I carry an FN. My first video was about the FNX 45, and those guys out there at the Great American Outdoor Show, they were just awesome. What? Oh, my mic. I'm on.
All right.
So, I'm sorry.
So FN, I mean, they were gracious enough, and so far we've reached out to a bunch of different companies. You know, this is a free show. We don't do paid advertising or anything like that, not at this point. But, you know, they were nice enough to send us a bunch of cool stuff. So the reason we're letting you know that is, one, why are we wearing matching gear? Second of all, though, is that we got a bunch of extra hats, a bunch of extra stickers. Next month we're going to start, or next week we're going to start having some contests where we can start getting the word out there, and you guys can hopefully win some of this stuff. So basically, though, let's get started in this thing.
I have that over there.
The first order of business, Evan's going to jump into it here, and it's talking about a bill that's being proposed, and I hate to say it, guys, but at this point it's bipartisan, and it's not across the board, but
no,
it's mostly a Democrat bill, but at this point there are Republicans that are supporting this bill too, and it basically, I'll let Evan jump into it, but it's basically an assault weapons ban. Again, here we go again with an assault weapons ban. It's good for me because I can sell my AR-15 for $3,000, but for the country, there's nothing good about it. So go ahead, Evan, jump in.
All right, this bill was actually proposed by somebody in New York and California. So you got Chuck Schumer, Kristen Gillibrand, and also our friend and colleague is Dianne Feinstein.
Yep.
So, you know, these people ain't got a clue that the AR is a modern sporting firearm. Bottom line, people do use these things to hunt small game with. In Arkansas, where I'm originally from, when the 6.8 came out, it was originally a police load. Yep. Now it became a sporting load. I mean, there's more people hunting with 6.8 ambushes in Arkansas than they are anymore with 30-30s or 308s. I mean, a 6.8 is king down there. At least it was before I came up 7 years ago. But, guys, we're here to tell you, the crime, this new gun ban, forget about it. Forget about it. Because we need to get out there as gun owners. I don't care if you own an AR. I don't care if you don't. This is this: they're coming for your Ruger Mini 14s.
Yep.
They're coming for your M1A1s. They're coming for them. It does not matter what the firearm is.
Yep.
It does not matter. So call your congressman, call your representatives. I got the word out to some people today that was in another town that, you know, we know what we're doing here. We already done it. We emailed them. But get with friends in another town, another community. Let them get a hold of their representatives so they know that this is BS, because who's going to tell me what I can defend my family with?
Right, and I tell you what, guys, there's over 100 million guns, 150 million guns in this country. You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of you are gun owners, and I'm willing to bet a good handful of you at least own semi-automatic weapons. This bill, again, I assume it's not going to go anywhere, but every time one of these tragedies happen, it is another opportunity for this knee-jerk reaction that these Congress people have, and it just seems like each time they gain a little bit more steam and a little bit more steam. And I tell you, it's a slippery slope. Eventually, I think that that there is the possibility that, you know, even the Republicans are going to cave to this kind of pressure, unfortunately. You know, so it just says here on the bill, it calls for a ban on assault weapons that take detachable ammunition magazines, has a pistol grip, a forward grip, a barrel shroud, a threaded barrel, or a folding or telescopic stock. Come on, you know.
There's bolt-action rifles out there,
right,
with that same material on them.
Yep, exactly. There's that 30-30 that who makes that? Chiappa
Mossberg
makes that 30. Yeah, so
yeah,
you know, come on, this is ridiculous. So
yeah.
Anyway, why is it ridiculous? So that's what we're gonna jump into here. So I got some facts here, and then Ev and I are gonna jump back and forth on just telling you some stories. These stories are important because they are stories about law-abiding, gun-owning citizens stopping either mass shootings or other violent crimes. It's important to note that. So I'm going to read some facts off to you, but basically there are some mixed statistics on this, but guns are used in between 200,000 and 2.5 million times a year in self-defense. So the reason why this number, there's such a huge gap here in this number, is because first of all, there's different reporting agencies, but then second of all, there's a lot of other factors that go into it. There's the fact that some people don't report it at all because nothing actually, you know, ended up happening because they stopped the crime, or they didn't want to hurt their significant other by sending them to jail, or whatever the case may be. But that's why these numbers are so broad. But 250,000, that's the lowest number set on that scale. That's significant. That's really significant. So I just read an article the other day that said there has been 60 mass shootings within the past, I don't know, 100 years, 50 years, whatever. 60 mass shootings, okay? Don't get me wrong, one is too much, but it is 60. They're isolated incidents. Compare that to 250,000 incidences a year where people use guns to defend themselves, okay? 60, I'm not trying to minimize the experience for these people who were involved in these mass shootings. Terrible, terrible tragedy. But 60 isolated incidents over 50 or 100 years as opposed to 250,000 a year. It is just, it doesn't even compare. So it's a big number. As many as 200,000 women use a gun every year to defend themselves against sexual abuse. Armed citizens kill more crooks than the police. Citizens shoot and kill at least twice as many criminals every year. So, handguns are the weapon of choice in self-defense. So,
because I can't carry a cop with me.
That's it. That's it. So, I got a whole bunch of these facts. All you have to do is Google pro-gun statistics, or and you'll be able to find this stuff out there on the internet. It's all over the place, but it's very relevant. The fact of the matter is, it is undisputable, undeniable that people are using guns to stop criminals. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun
is a good guy with a gun.
That's it. So,
I mean, even the guy in Texas with this horrible incident that took place in Texas, you know, the firearm instructor, like us,
yeah,
grabbed his AR barefooted, grabbed a handful of shells, loaded up a magazine. He didn't even have loaded mags.
Yeah.
You know, we're ahead of him on that one.
Yep.
He had to load his mags up, and he ran outside through his grassy, you know, to the church, took a position up behind his neighbor's truck, and returned fire for 20 yards.
And took him out.
Yep. You know, now you could say what you want, but here's a prime example. When that gunfight happened, the bad guy had a handgun at 20 yards.
Yep.
And he had an AR at 20 yards. Well, guess who there you go.
Yep, exactly.
You know.
And Donald Trump made the quote actually today in a press release from South Korea. Somebody had asked him about.
That was yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday?
Yeah, it was
yesterday. So he made the comment that if we had stricter gun control laws and if we didn't have access to AR-15s, this guy would have killed a lot more people than what he did.
Oh, he was heading to another church.
I mean, you know, really, and who knows? Maybe he would have pulled off somewhere. He would have killed himself. Who knows? But I'm telling you one thing: that if it wasn't for this guy owning an AR-15, the gunman wouldn't have been taken out. So hey, guess what though, folks? There are a whole bunch of stories like this, and we're just going to read over some of those with you.
Well, I'm going to bring a couple of personal incidents.
Go for it.
There was a lady in Tennessee. Now, this is back when I was doing my security stuff. I was driving for a judge, and I was listening to NRA News, and Cam and company was talking about this lady, an elderly couple, who pulled into their carport, come out of their, you know, the husband goes into the house, and the guy starts pistol whipping him right there in the carport. She grabs this .38. She goes over there, shoots 6 rounds. 5 rounds hit the dude. The dude dies in a ditch, running to the hospital. Now, what was that? That gun probably had corroded bullets.
Right.
You know, you're not talking about somebody goes to the range like me and you do.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you're talking about an elderly couple. That gun probably ain't been shot in 20 years.
Yep.
So here's the point is, she knew how to use the gun. She used what she had. Good to go.
Yep.
You know, and then another one, I'm going to go to a police chief's wife. I was helping my cousin out on his range, training people. And this is just me. At a time, I was 24 years of age, and I was at my cousin's range, and we were there. Just my job was setting up tables.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of guns on tables. We were taking new shooters out and teaching them how to shoot, and then they would qualify with their concealed carry firearms. But we were dealing with the brand new shooters. And everybody got to shoot anything from a .22 revolver all the way up to, you know, 50 caliber Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. The point is, while we were there and I was doing this, the police chief's wife took out a sexual, you just read it, sexual predator.
Yeah.
From a gun that she stashed in the console of her vehicle, and blew this dude away inside of a shopping mall.
Wow.
So, you know, there's a couple of prime examples of situations where
exactly
you know, and you're going to be over here somebody like Chuck Schumer and Nancy and
Feinstein.
Dianne Feinstein. You know, they've got guards around them.
Right. Yeah.
They live in a gated community.
Exactly.
You know, we don't have that luxury.
Yep. Exactly. I wish I could have an entourage.
Oh, I wish I could too.
Bodyguards following me around everywhere. You know, it was some theme music playing in the background. Kind of cool too. But so some of these other kind of short stories here. October 1, 1997. Luke Woodham fatally stabbed his mother at home before opening fire at his high school, killing 2 students and injuring 7 others. The attack was stopped when an assistant principal, Joel Myrick, retrieved his .45 caliber handgun from his truck and confronted Woodham, detaining him until authorities could arrive. Myrick's action stopped Woodham from going across the street to the middle school as he had planned. Good guy with a gun stopped the bad guy with a gun. Okay, second incident here. April 24, 1998. A 14-year-old student showed up to his middle school dance carrying a .25 caliber pistol. He opened fire inside of the dance, killing 1 teacher and wounding another, as well as 2 students. The rampage ended when James Strand, owner of the banquet hall the dance was happening in, grabbed his personal shotgun and confronted the 14-year-old killer. Strand held the teen at gunpoint for 11 minutes before finally getting him to drop the weapon and lie on the ground and searching him for additional weapons. So, again, 2 cases right here. 2 cases where...
That's 4 cases altogether, yo.
And the last 2, the first 2 were crimes being stopped. The last 2 were actually mass shootings that were stopped. Mass shootings. So we're talking about, 60 mass shootings in the past 100 years. These are 2 mass shootings that have been stopped. Evan's going to go ahead and jump into a couple more situations that have been stopped by good guys with a gun.
January 16, 2002, 43-year-old former student armed with a .380 handgun killed Dean Sutton, a professor in Thomas Blackwell, point-blank range. Shots went on to kill fellow students Angela Dales and as well as wounding 3 others, being confronted at gunpoint by law students. Tracy Bridges and County Sheriff's Deputy Michael Gross, a police officer, retrieving their personal handguns from their vehicles. The gunmen that then apprehended by other students. Gross and Bridges lost valuable response time getting their handguns because the law school
gun-free zone.
Gun-free zone. There you go. Gun-free zone.
Yep. So it could have been stopped, could have been avoided, but we're talking about a gun-free zone, right?
Well, my point is, if you carry concealed, there is no
gun-free
zone. Now, unless you got metal detectors.
And know your laws, know your state laws, know your local laws, know your laws. So we're not saying to
break the law, but if you're walking down the street and it's a rainy day, you got a trench coat on.
Yep.
You can hide whatever you want.
And we're also not saying not to break. we're not giving you any advice on the law. We're not. But it's a good point. If you got your weapon concealed, you don't necessarily have to worry about. And if you're concealing properly, again, get some training on this stuff, people. Don't just take our word for it that we say get a gun and conceal it, and you go out and you buy a pistol and you stuff it in your pocket. Do proper research, which we can certainly, both Evan and I we'll train you up. We'll train you up, and even just help you pick out a gun if you don't own one. Usually we do that free of charge. We'll go to the gun store with you. We'll look at guns with you. See what you think, and
that's dangerous for me.
That's
dangerous for me.
I know it is. So, what's the New Life Church?
The New Life Church. 2 parishioners were killed and 3 wounded when a gunman toting a Bushmaster AR opened fire in New Hope Church. Hearing the rifle fire, Jan soon grabbed her personal concealed carry firearm and confronted the gunman at a distance of 20 yards And according to the magazine, she fired 5 quick shots and falls backwards. Moves into. I saw him moves into the middle of the corridor and rushes forward. She throws a few dozen feet from Mary, and now exposed the middle of the hallway. Drop your weapon, or I will kill you, she yells. Mary sits up, face her, with his hands holding the rifle. Boom, 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 boom. Bullets drift past the paper wall, and while Murray shoots the assailants 3 times. Fires 3 times. So there you go.
Another instance, another mass shooting.
Another mass shooting. I'm going to throw another one in here. I don't know if it's in here or not. There was one in... no, here it is. Here it is. I'm going to go right to this one. In Oregon, December 11th, 2012, this guy walked in. My understanding was that I actually had somebody that was in executive protection in this one. When this thing happened, my associate got his client out of the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when he heard shots fired, when he saw the mass shooter, this, that, and the other, he just got his client out the back door, got out the property. Yeah. Well, while that was going on, the individual was a shopper in the mall. He had a Glock.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Yes, he had a Glock, and he got in a corner position. In other words, he was on the other side.
Yep.
The gunman had 0 training.
Right.
If that gunman sliced the pie, that dude would have been dead.
Right.
The shooter that stopped this would have been dead if he knew how to slice the pie.
Right.
But he had so many people that he was trying to kill.
Yep.
That he didn't even get through a whole mag.
Right.
With his weapon.
And we see that so many times. You know, you look at Las Vegas. I made that same comment with Las Vegas. If this was a well-trained guy with a thermal scope, or he would have been able to take way more than 50 or 100
They said he had a
people.
7.62 rifle.
Right. So I mean, here's the thing though. So again, good guy with a gun stops bad guy with a gun. So one of the biggest objections that we hear, though, is when these incidences that are being carried out with AR-15s, that, hey, I'm carrying a pistol. How am I going to stop a guy with an AR-15? Maybe it's wearing body armor. Well, hey, look. So a couple.
Shoot the dude in the groin.
A couple of things. So, first of all, these people, they might be scared, but they're predators. Okay, they're predators. The predator goes after the easy prey, you know. So the predator avoids the difficult prey. They avoid the prey that fights back, especially if the prey that's fighting back actually has a chance of winning. So that's the first kind of element to this. Now here's a couple other stories though where people actually stopped mass shootings with people with AR-15s and body armor. With a handgun. It's possible, now when you have training, it's a force multiplier. That means you are exponentially better equipped to accomplish whatever you're trying to do. But even if you're not trained, there's still luck. But,
yeah, well, here's the thing. With training, and I can't force training enough because we're trainers. But let's take this a step further. Common sense. If you know your firearm, okay, as long as you get to that range and you shoot your concealed firearm.
Right, yep.
Okay, I don't care if you got a rifle that's zeroed in 300 yards. if you do not carry your concealed firearm and train with it, like you're going to fight with it, and that means carry it fully loaded with a round in the chamber. You know, I understand, well, what about your magazine problem, this, that, and the other? What you do, if you got a high capacity mag, or what I like to call standard capacity mag, anywhere from 15 to 18 rounds, go ahead and load up your magazine, chamber it up. There you go. It's good enough to carry in your gun.
Right.
Okay. Now, make sure you carry a spare or 2 mags that are fully loaded. I do. I mean, I carry a FNX 45, which is pretty much my daily carry. Now, is that going to be for everybody? No. But there again, I got 3 15-round mags. I got 15 rounds in the gun. I got 2 15 rounds on my belt. Now, somebody says, what are you doing, preparing for war? No. I'm just there to make sure that I can at least, my primary mag is for fighting. I'm going to fight with that mag. My other 2 mags are for getting out of Dodge. I'm going to find a position to fight from.
Sure.
I'm going to shoot to a position to fight. I got 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, so May 3rd, 2015, Curtis Caldwell Center in Garland, Texas. Officer Greg Stevens began taking rifle fire from 2 attackers at a distance of 15 yards who were both wearing body armor. Caldwell drew his .45 Glock 41 and began shooting and advancing, taking both shooters out of the fight without being shot himself. He hit with more than half of the shots that he fired. Again, so a couple guys with assault weapons that got taken down by a guy with a pistol.
Well, and to give and to kind of clarify what a Glock 41 is, a lot of people don't realize this. That's actually a 5-inch barrel gun.
Right. Yeah.
That's not the Glock 21. That's a 5-inch gun.
Yep.
So he had a longer sight radius, and he knew that firearm.
Sure, but it's still a pistol.
It's still a pistol.
Rifle. Yep.
But I'm just letting you know that wasn't just a standard Glock 21.
Yep. So December 11th, 2012. Oh, never mind. That's the one we just read.
Yeah.
Okay, so December 9, 2007. Arvada, Colorado. A murderer armed with a rifle and pistol killed 2 people at the Youth with a Mission Training Center and then drove to the New Life Church where he killed 2 more before a member of the church volunteer security team, Gianna Sam, shot with it and killed him. So that, again, Evan just read that one, but the point is that story was it was a person with a pistol taking out a person with a rifle. And so this one we hadn't read yet, but December 1st, 2014, Austin, Texas, an extremist shooter who appeared to be looking to commit death by cop armed with an AK-47 pistol and a .22 rifle shot over 100 rounds at buildings in downtown Austin in the middle of the night. Then he began shooting at Sergeant Adam Johnson with the Capitol Police Mounted Patrol. He was firing full magazines from the AK and reloading. Sergeant Johnson, while holding the reins of 2 skittish horses and in one hand, and fired a single shot at the shooter from 314 feet away.
Oh, man.
That's a shot for the books. Hitting and killing him. An interesting twist, the bullet nicked the shooter's car, ricocheted, and tumbled 5 feet before striking and killing the shooter. Now that, folks, is incredible. So the point is, guys, though, good guys need to carry guns. So I'm Andy.
I'm Evan.
Deplorable General. Over and out.